or cellulite? Yeah? It's a big thing. Brought yourself told you cellulite was a myth. That quieted the room, didn't it? Yeah? Does anyone know what cellulite actually is? And technically it's not a myth, it exists, obviously, you can tell. But, right, fat. Anyone know what people actually say cellulite is? I've heard all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I've heard water deposits, I've heard, and basically if you just look at the Cellulite Cures, right? You've got like loofahs to scrub it away, yeah? You've got essentially glorified cling film, yeah, to wrap yourself up. Yeah, basically I'd seen this stuff, I always can't remember when it was, I was just walking down the supermarket and I don't know what it was, they were on some kind of cellulite kit, but they were all in one place, it was the most amazing thing. And basically to get rid of cellulite, yeah? By doing that, obviously, again, incidentally, depends on who you talk to. But we have all kinds of weird and wonderful cures to get rid of it, when in actual fact, well, cellulite is a combination of two things. First of all, it's fat, yeah? Plain and simple. It's just fatty deposits, yeah? Just because it's deposited in that kind of formation that makes it look kind of, dimple, it's still fat, yeah? Now, there's two reasons why you have cellulite. Because you've got fat, which is, like I say, deposited in that way, and because the underlying lean muscle, so the stuff we were talking about earlier, is weak. Simple as that. Now, there's another reason why you don't want to go running. Straight away, yeah? Want to make it worse, get rid of your lean tissue, particularly in your lower body, yeah? And it will make it worse, straight away, right? So, we can actually get rid of cellulite. It's a simple kind of, step-by-step process. It's that simple. 1. Lose fat. Yeah? It's that simple. Yeah? Don't scrub it away. Don't wrap yourself in cling film. Yeah? It's true. I saw it. It's ridiculous. But again, you don't do that. Creams as well. Cellulite creams. Yeah? All of that kind of stuff. Again, obviously, it's not going to help it because fat can't be treated topically. Yeah? The only way you can get rid of fat by going in from the top is with surgery. Yeah, is with liposuction or anything similar to that. That's the only way you're going to ever affect your fat cells, by going in from the outside. Okay? Anyone know what fat cells actually are? Or let's put it in a way. Anyone know how fat cells are generated? Okay, what actually happens? Right, that was a bit of an ambiguous question. I'm going to fill that in for you, right? What actually happens when you gain fat? Okay, when you eat too much and you start to gain fat, you have all of these fat cells, yeah? And when you gain fat, what happens is you get more of them, and not only that, you make them all bigger. Yeah, because you're expanding the fat cells you've got, plus you're multiplying the fat cells you've got. Okay? When you lose fat, you don't lose them. You only shrink the ones you've now got. So that's why it's so much easier to gain fat after you've gained it once than it is to lose it in the first place, yeah? Because when you lose fat, you shrink the new fat cells, you shrink all the fat cells you've got, but you don't get rid of fat cells. The only way you can get rid of them is liposuction. Okay? And again, I'm not recommending liposuction, you just need to Google what goes wrong if you want to see why. Because basically liposuction is local. So for example, you take that in one place, which then means, of course, if you gain fat back again, that place has less fat cells than everywhere else, and you get all kinds of horrific deformities as you gain it in places that you didn't suck it out of. Yeah? But basically, so this is what happens. You gain more and more fat. Yeah, you gain more and more fat cells, and you expand those fat cells as you gain them. When you lose fat, you don't lose those new fat cells, you just shrink them again. Okay? So those fat cells are sitting there ready for you to fill up again and go and expand. Yeah?
Can you shrink them down to nothing then?
Well, basically, you can shrink them down to practically nothing, and they'll sit there, they will shrink, all of them will shrink, but basically it's like having, you instead of having, say, we're talking in millions here rather than single figures, but if you've got, say, 10 fat cells originally that you're now filling up, and then the second time around you've got 20 that you can fill up, you're going to fill them up a lot quicker, aren't you? Yeah, because you've got a lot more capacity to do so. So this is the first thing. The first thing you need to do, like I say, is lose fat. Yeah, simple as that, and that will be a start to get rid of most of your cellulite. The second thing you need to do is build up the strength in your lean tissue. So for example, if you have it down the back of your legs, yeah, or around your bum. Right, there you go, you've just preempted my next question, that's brilliant, that is. Right, yeah, what do you do to build lean tissue in your legs, your bum, your thighs? Squats. What do we do at boot camp every single day? Over and over and over again. Why do Piers' legs hurt today? Squats, right? Absolutely. There's tons of stuff you can do for your legs ultimately, but the quickest thing you can do if you want to work all of these muscles, yeah, and get them down there, build lean tissue, is to squat. Yeah? Get down low as you can, without rounding your lower back. Okay? Because the lower you get, the more you engage these muscles here. Yeah? Again, don't forget things like glute bridges as well, things like that actually specifically target the muscles in the back of your legs there. And of course, remember, keep your weight backwards, push through your heels. Yeah, again, a bit technical now, but again, the main thing that engages these muscles here, as opposed to these muscles at the front, is where you put the weight, and that's either through your heels. Yeah, so you should be able to wiggle your toes. That will target all the way backwards, which is why I'm constantly saying push through your heels. Yeah, over and over again. About as much as I say keep breathing. Yeah, and again, you do it there. If you put it through your toes, what happens is you put the weight now through the front, and you can potentially injure your knees as well. But also, it now transfers a lot of the force to these muscles at the front of your thighs instead of the muscles at the back. So the muscles at the back aren't doing the work. Yeah. So basically, like I say, the first thing you need to do is lower your body fat. And the second thing you need to do is build lean tissue. Right, step 3. Hydrate. Water, water, water. Why? Because one of the reasons it makes that formation is because of your skin elasticity. Yeah? If you tighten up the skin, a lot of it goes away. Yeah? The reason it sits in that formation is essentially like, like a loose sack, for example. If you do that, if you fill it up with something, it's going to make a nice little dimple effect. Pull it tight, and it won't. It's that simple, because fat squashes. Yeah? That's what it does. You know, it's not hard, it's not solid like muscle, it squashes flat. You know? So if you tighten your skin, then it's not going to just sag there in nice little dimples. Yeah? Does that make sense? 3 steps. If you want to lose cellulite, don't scrub it, don't rub a load of cream in. Yeah? You're just wasting your time, you're just throwing money away. Do this. Lose fat, squat, hydrate. Yeah? In short. Alright? And it'll go. Yeah? I can tell you, every single person without exception who I've trained down, who has lost, I don't know, it depends on who it is, whether it's 1 stone, 2 stone, 3 stone, when they've lost fat, their cellulite has improved significantly, straight away. Yeah? Without doing anything else. Because that's what it is. Fat. Cellulite, like I say, yeah, it is real, but ultimately cellulite is a big fat line. Yeah? Because it's not what people say it is. It's not, you know, it can't be treated with, by scrubbing it. It can't be treated topically. It can't be treated like that because it's body fat. Body fat, incidentally, is taken out of your liver. It's basically, that's what happens. The process happens inside, not outside, which is the same reason why if you do 1 million crunches a day, it's not going to affect the amount of fat around your midsection, because you can't specifically pick on an area. Body fat goes from all over. Yeah. So with cellulite, same applies. Yeah. We do squats not to try and burn fat around there. We do squats to build the lean tissue, because ultimately you look more toned when you have more lean tissue under less body fat. It's that simple. Yeah. And again, that's why we hammer on these every day. Yes.
So you're saying when you, so I know this, but with your crunches, when you're not targeting your stomach fat, does it work the same? So you made a comment, and it might be a throwaway one about running.
Yep.
So if you go running, you were saying you lose lean tissue in your legs.
Yes, see, there's the difference.
Target specifically where you're doing it?
No, not quite, because now we're talking about different tissues, yeah? You can't target body fat anywhere, because body fat goes from everywhere. You can target muscle, and muscle is local. Yeah? So this is why when like for example, fitness competitors, bikini competitors and so on, they put muscle where they want it. Muscle's like sculpting clay. You can do whatever you like with muscle, yeah?
So I can understand how you build it,
but
you're saying by just doing cardio, you can actually...
You can have the opposite effect.
You can have the opposite effect
in
a localised
because,
area.
like I say, because it is expensive tissue. Unless you're doing something that specifically requires you to keep it, and like I say, that's very specific type of exercise, then it will get rid of it, your body will get rid of it. To a point, it needs a certain amount to survive, but ultimately it's expensive. So it's more expensive than fat. Fat can just sit there and it's not going to hurt you. Yeah? Muscle, it's more expensive, which is why, things can get harder when you do stuff because you're not strong, but you'll still survive as far as your body's concerned. You're still going, you're still alive and kicking, and why people can actually write down and still be laying in a bed, but they're still alive, so your body's done strong. Simple as that. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? So muscle and fat, again, not the same, remember that, very important. And you can locally build muscle, you can locally lose muscle. Fat, not the same. Fat is fat cells all over, it goes from everywhere. And where that goes from comes down to your parents. They don't like it, take it up with them. Yeah? If you've got fat on your bum you want to get rid of and you can't get rid of it, take it up with them. It's not your body's fault, doesn't matter how many squats you do. stuff.